Alright, okay, let's do this. For my classes, we had to do this report on basically a part of essay. So I decided, basketball fan, sports fan in general. So I decided to do mine. I don't know a basketball team that I love, Durham Hard. I didn't actually get to watch them play because I wasn't born yet, of course. But the Bad Boys of Detroit. Uh, and basically my report was over who's better, them, the Bad Boys of Detroit, or the today's Miami Heat, Big Three. I won't go over a lot of it. I'm basically just gonna go over the main points, the things that stood out the most. But the things that stood out the most for me was looking at them, the two teams side by side, and how they matched up next to each other. And side by side, Detroit actually had a lot better team than they did. Of course, you had Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, and Joe Dumars. Sorry, they're your out three guys, main guys for Detroit when it came to your perimeter. Then you had Dennis Rodman, who everyone always remembers mostly from the Bulls with his 4 championships helping out Michael Jordan. And then also you had Bill Laimbeer, probably the most physical, most athletic player in that time at the 5 spot. But then today you have Miami with Chalmers at point, shooting guard Wade, Battier playing small forward, power guard. Power forward, not power guard. Power forward is played by LeBron James. Nothing against him. I kind of think he's a little bit too cocky, to be honest. He's starting to mellow down from before those, though. Things are getting better for him. And then you got Chris Bosh. Now, my main point was I actually broke it down, put both guys together, and I basically explained who would have the advantage at that position. So, of course, let's start out with the one position. Isaiah Thomas versus Chalmers. Thomas is a little bit smaller than Chalmers, but Thomas is probably one of the greatest point guards to ever play the game. I mean, can make the hardest passes, make the shot that is usually hard, make it look easy. Great athleticism, get up and down the court quickly. Great perimeter defense. No way Chalmers can match up with Isaiah Thomas on the court. So there would be a big advantage for Detroit if the two teams played today. In their primes, of course. Going over to smaller forward or 2 spot or shooting guard. I'm messing everything up. Sorry. Shooting guard to 2 start. You had Mark Aguirre and Wade. Or no, Joe Dumars actually. Joe Dumars was the shooting guard. Joe Dumars, a lot more physical than Wade. I mean, they're about the same size. Wade doesn't have a good 3-point shot. Which would kill him against Joe Dumars, because Joe Dumars he wanted guys to drive the lane on, because if he knew if they drove in the lane, they weren't scoring on him. He played that physical, and also Bill Laimbeer would come over and help on that situation. Then at small forward, Mark Aguirre versus Battier. Battier plays doesn't play close enough to his man. Definitely when they're moving the ball around. Detroit would move the ball around a lot. Once that ball got over to Mark, I feel like Mark would drain that 3-point shot. He was known for doing that. Great 3-point shooter. I mean, Battier is good, but he doesn't have the great defense that he would need to stop that 3-point shot from Aguirre. Then you're gonna move over to power forward, your 4 spot. This would be the most interesting and probably the best matchup of the night, Dennis Rodman versus LeBron James. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan, I'll admit it. But LeBron James, he can score. He knows how to get the ball in the hole. And he would do it. He would score pretty constantly on Rodman, but he wouldn't be able to get the rebounds he normally gets during a game. Rodman is probably one of the best rebounders to have played the game. I mean, he won multiple rebounding championships. He led the league multiple times in rebounds. I mean, there's 3 years he had over 1,000 rebounds just defensively. So I mean, their second point opportunities would be limited a lot just because of Dennis Rodman there. But then you got your 5 spot center, Bill Laimbeer versus Bosh. Bosh is smaller, but the main point is Bosh would probably not make it through the game. You look at when the Detroit Pistons faced off against the Portland Trail Blazers for the NBA Finals, Bill Laimbeer made Kevin Duckworth, 7'1", 270 pounds, literally quit and not finish out the game. Chris Bosh is only 220 pounds, last time I checked. You put up, if Bill Laimbeer can make someone who's tall, 2 inches taller than him, and also about 30 pounds bigger, if he can make him quit by pushing and pulling and just moving him around in the paint so much, there's no way Bosh, who's smaller and not as physical, is going to last. He'd be crying by halftime if he hadn't quit. And by the end of the third, he'd quit. It'd be done. He would walk off the court. He'd do something. I mean, and then also going with the injury risk, I mean, you got to look at Dwayne Wade. He gets injured a lot. I hate to say it, I mean, that's his only downfall. That's another downfall to his game. He can't hit the 3 that well, and he gets injured a lot. Joe Dumars, he probably, with his great defense, his great physicalness, he'd probably injure him. So the big 3, 2 of those guys could be off the court before the game even ended. I mean, and with the Bad Boys of Detroit, you could stick any other bench players in, everything would run fine. It'd be like the starters are still in. With the Heat, that's where their downfall is. When one of the big 3 is taken off the court, they don't play as efficiently and as well. So to wrap it up, basically Detroit would win this game if you went on paper, and I feel like if they went with the old rules, the rules that they played when the Bad Boys played, Detroit would take it with Isaiah Thomas scoring, getting a lot of assists, Aguirre knocking down that 3, Joe Dumars playing his great defense against Wade, forcing him to take that 3 and forcing him to take those tough shots. LeBron would be scoring a good amount of points. He'd probably score about 30, maybe 40 points. But I mean, he's probably the only one who'd really be scoring for the Heat. Not trying to diss any of the Heat players. I'm just saying with those who they'd be matching up with. But rebounds, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman, second opportunities for Detroit would be outrageous, and then almost non-existent for the Heat. I mean, and then Bosh, I don't think he'd make it through the game. But this is almost 10 minutes long, so I'm gonna wrap it up. If you want me to do another one, just comment below. Tell me 2 teams, and just give me the years. I'll look them up, look the players up, see what they match them up against each other, and I'll get to it. I might do this every week. I don't know. This is your man Meadows out.